It's the Stephs, ready to give you your financial update for the situation at Mill City Church. Hi, Steph.
Hey!
We have an update for all of you, and the beginning of this update is just to say huge celebration because you all have been so generous with your time and your energy and your prayers and also finances. So thank you so much. Here's a slide that kind of shows where we're at. At this point in the year through April 2020, our fiscal year starts October 1st, and we are at giving versus how much we needed to plan on giving in our budget. So you'll see here that we are over $20,000 ahead in giving at this point in the year, which is huge. Thank you so much for those of you who have been generous. This is allowing us to be generous as a church, which we'll talk about in a minute. So thank you so much for that. And it also gives us some confidence as we go into the ministry year to continue to do the ministry and have the resources to do it as well as possible given these unusual circumstances. Just for a quick snapshot of what the giving has looked like, though, it has been kind of up and down a little bit all over the place, which is totally fine and understandable, especially in these last few months with the situation. But you'll see that you all have increased your financial generosity towards Mill City in these last couple of months, and that's incredible. And that's going to give us confidence to continue to be generous in so many different ways. And so we're going to be able to be wise and recognize that that trajectory might not continue upward necessarily. We're just being as wise as possible. But at the same time, your generosity is making it so that we can continue to live out our mission, to love our community in the name of Jesus.
Totally. And along with that sentiment, what have we already done? Well, here's our long, long list. We have given money to the Little Kitchen Food Shelf and to Claire Housing from our Get One, Give One campaign. We raised over $800, you guys. That was incredible. Awesome. We donated 112 face masks, gave $800 to those two different partners. In addition to all these other things, we gave money to the El Taqueriendo Fire Relief Fund. So I remember they burned down in March and the owner was looking to pay his staff through the month. So we contributed to that fund. We designed and donated t-shirts to our healthcare workers and frontline essential workers as a thank you and as an encouragement. Those were only made possible because of this extra giving that you guys have participated in so that we can encourage and love on our neighbors and those who are in our community who are also serving in this way. In addition, because we're not at Sheridan, the Sheridan engineers who are so important to our relationship at Sheridan, they open the building for us, clean the building, 40% of their paycheck comes from overtime pay. And that overtime pay comes from being in the building when renters are in the building. And right now, our license and our lease at Sheridan is suspended because of the coronavirus. And so that means those engineers are not receiving the same pay that they were receiving before. And so we have already gifted those engineers Cub food gift cards for their families. We're going to be looking into what else we can do to support them and walk alongside them in this time, but that's something that we've done, we're really excited about. And they were just overjoyed. I got some amazing, beautiful text messages from them. They love us and they miss us. And I let them know that we love and miss them too. Claire Housing, a lot of you donated items and donated money in addition to money that we allocated to Claire Housing. We donated 4 temporal thermometers that they can use for their residents at the front desk for visitors, art supplies for resident activities. A lot of those residents, they are immunocompromised. They cannot leave their residence. And so the staff over at Claire Housing, we're trying to come up with ways of how do we provide activities for these residents. So we donated art supplies to them as well as Cub food gift cards for those residents so that they can go grocery shopping. In addition, over Mother's Day, we donated $200 to the Alexandria House. The Alexandria House has a mission of ending domestic violence and sexual violence. And then Wildflower Coffee. We have continued our monthly orders of coffee. And we've actually increased our coffee orders so that we can provide many of you little packets of coffee in those gift packs that we've delivered. And we're just honored to be able to continue to support their mission.
this is all a huge celebration and made possible by so many of you. And a lot of these ideas came from a lot of you. So let's keep it up. We'd love to hear your ideas and your thoughts of how we can continue to love our community so intentionally. But we also want to recognize how many of you are in a tough spot as well. We've already been able to give some what we call benevolence to our community for those who are in need. But we do have other resources to be able to support those of you who might be in need during this time. And so the way that you can request those benevolence funds for you or your neighbor is to go to our website, millcitychurch.com/care. We would love to be able to cover some gaps maybe or help out in some specific ways. That is a big part of the generosity of our community and the heart behind what so many of you have said. We want to be people who support our own community as well as the neighbors of some of our community, to be able to say, hey, we love you and we want to support you in this time. And so head over to that website for you to be able to request those funds. You might want to send it to somebody else who you know is in need. Encourage people not to be afraid to ask. And also just know that because of the fact that we're not paying rent at Sheridan, which we won't be doing anytime soon, just so everyone's clear, they're indefinitely, we are suspended our lease. So we feel confident that we can take some of that funds that we would have otherwise budgeted for rent and give it to people who are in need. And that, along with your generosity, is making it possible for us to do that. So please don't hesitate to let us know if you need some support. Head to millcitychurch.com/care.
Completely. And along with that, if you have questions, if you have ideas, please email us. Email us at info@millcitychurch.com. We look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks so much for your time.